Namaskar, my dear Cambridgians. I hope you all are staying safe at your home and utilizing your time properly. Today I am going to start iterative statements in Python. Iterative statements or loop statements allow us to execute a block of statement as long as the condition is true. Loop statements are used when we need to run the same code again and again, each time with a different value. That means this looping statements will create a cycle of events to be executed again and again based on a certain condition. Let us understand this further. There are two types of iterative statements in Python, for and while. Before studying these two statements in Python language, let us understand the real life examples of the both. Suppose someone is asking you to do this work for 10 times. That means that person is defining that for the next 10 times this particular task is to be repeated. On the other hand, if someone is asking you to finish your science work while he or she is going to check your maths work, that means that person is giving you a chance that until and unless he or she finishes the maths work, you have your time to finish your science work. So this is basically based on a condition, while the previous example was based on the number of iterations known beforehand. So the basic difference between these two for and while loops in Python lies in between knowing the number of iterations beforehand and not knowing the number of iterations beforehand. Let us understand these two loops in Python language now. While loop in Python is used to execute a block of statement as long as the given condition is true, and when the condition is false, the control will come out of the loop. The condition is checked every time at the beginning of the loop. To understand this further, let us see the flow chart of while loop in Python language. Here, with the help of this black arrow, control is coming into your condition box. Here the condition will be evaluated. If it will be resulted in true, then control will go to this green block of statements. Here the block of statements which we have given will be executed again and again, and the result will be again and again fed into the condition box. Every time the condition will be evaluated. If it will result in true, it will go to block of statements. If it will be false, it will come out of the loop. Let us understand this with the help of an example. X is equals to 0, while x less than 5 print x is equals to x plus 1. Here what I am doing is I have initialized 0 value to variable x. Now I am going to check whether value of x is less than 5 or not. And after this I am going to print the value of x, and later I am going to increment 1 into the value of x. So we will start with 0. 0 less than 5, yes, we will print 0, and 0 plus 1, hence value of x becomes 1. The loop will go on again and again, and by the time we reach x is equals to 4, 4 is less than 5, we will print 4 also. But 4 is equals to 4 plus 1, that means x value becomes 5. 5 is not less than 5, hence we will come out of the loop and loop will terminate because we don't have any else part here. What is else part? Let us understand this with this syntax. Here we are going to check the while condition first, then we will execute the loop statements, and when the condition becomes false, we will come to the else statements. Let us understand the program now. X is equals to 1, same process initialization I have done here. While x is less than 5, print this thing. Then I am incrementing the value of x, and then when this whole loop will terminate, I have given an else part here, and that will print something which I want it to be printed, and then the value of x will be printed. So the output will be like initially it will start with 1, 2, 3, 4, and when the value of x will become 5, that means we have to come out of our loop, the else part will be evaluated, and whatever is given in the print function of else part will be printed along with the new value of x, that is 5. So this was all about your while loop with else in Python. But sometimes there are some conditions where it is not known that when you have to come out of your loop. There are some conditions which will always remain true no matter what are the consequences. Let us see this infinite loop in Python. An infinite loop in Python is that in which condition always remains true. Let us understand with the help of an example. X is equals to 1 while x double equals to 1, print hello. Now let me tell you what is the difference between single equals to and double equals to here. Single equals to is an assignment operator, that means that value 1 is assigned to variable x. But in Python, when you have to compare two things, you cannot use equals to sign because it is an assignment operator in Python. So you have to use double equals for this comparison of two things. So here value of x is 1 and you are comparing that 1 is equals to 1. So this condition will remain true for entire infinity. I don't have even time to tell you that for how much time this will be true. For entire life this is going to be true. So we have result hello will be printed infinite times. So this is known as infinite loop in Python. So till now we have studied three things in Python. First of all, we have understood what is Python, what is while loop in Python. Then we have studied that there are some conditions where rather than exiting loop without doing anything, we can have a set of statements to be executed after exiting the loop. That is the else part of your while loop. And third thing we have learned that in while loop sometimes the condition is always true where we will have the result for the infinite times. So now let us move to the for loop in Python. For loop in Python is used to iterate over items of any sequence such as list or a string. Let us understand this with the help of flowchart. With this black colored arrow, your control is coming to the last item. So here in this condition, this decision box, I have told you flowcharts in your previous assignment also, that this diamond shape is used for checking the conditions, or it is also known as decision box. Here the decision will be taken that is this item is the last, like the example which I gave you initially. Do this work for 10 times. Is this the 10th time? If yes, then exit the loop. If not, the looping statements will be executed. Then again the result will be fed. Again we will check. Now let us understand. I hope you are getting the things. See, suppose right now the person is doing this that work for the 10th time. Now we will check, is this the last item? Yes, it is. So we will come out of the loop. But suppose that person is doing that thing for the second time. Is this the last item? No. He has just done it for the second time. So the loop statements will be repeated again and again. Then we will give our output into the last item, this decision box. Then after second it will be third. It is still not the last. So we will again repeat the thing. We will again check, is it the fourth? The fourth is the last? No, the 10th is the last. So this loop will go on until and unless it is the last item, and then we will terminate the loop. The syntax of this for loop is for value in sequence colon statements. You will not get this until and unless I move to the next slide. See, let us understand with the help of a program now. For I is the value here. In range, here I am going to use this range function. You know that when I am talking about functions, these functions are always followed by a parenthesis. Parenthesis means your small brackets open and close. So according to this program, for I in range 1 to 5. So 1 is the starting of that range and 5 is the stop or the last of that range. Print I. So here one thing you have to remember, that last or the stop of your range will never be printed in your output. So I will start my range from 1. It will go to 2, 3, 4, but not 5, as it is a rule that in your range function the last value in the range will not be printed as an output. Let us understand this further. The range function in Python is a built-in that is used to iterate over a sequence of numbers. Syntax of a range function means it will be followed by a parenthesis. Range, start, stop and step. This I have not told you previously. Step is basically something that will either increment or decrement in the step values. We will understand with the help of examples also. But always remember, start is the starting number of the sequence. Stop generates number up to but not include this number. Step, it is optional. Like in the previous example, I have not used any step value. But in the following examples, I will be using. See. Program for I in range 5, print I. See here I have not given either the start or the step, but I have only given you the stop. Hence by default it will start from 0, 1. Why I am starting from 0? Because 0 is the only positive number. I have not given any clue that I will be including negative numbers also. So I am starting with 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, but 5 will not be included as it is the stop. Let us understand the second example. For I in range 2, 9, 2, print I. Now you will easily understand this first 2 is basically the start, 9 is the stop and 2 is the increment. How I can say this is an increment? Because if I want to decrement, I will put a minus sign before this step value. So if the step value is positive, we will take it as a positive. That means the increment. If it is a negative, we will take it as a decrement. So the output will start from 2. Then step value is 2. That means 2 plus 2, 4. Now after 4 plus 2, 6. 6 plus 2, 8. But we cannot go further 8 because our last or the stop value is 9 only. And we will not include 9 also, as it is not coming by the default value of step also. And we cannot continue with the stop value also. So let us see the last example now. For I in range 10, 0, minus 2, print I. So here my start is 10. But as I told you, if I am putting negative sign between my stop and my step value, this is going to be a decrement value. So my output will start from 10, 8, 6, 4, then 2, but not 0 because 0 is a stop. So I hope these all programs were sufficient to tell you the features of your range function. This was all about your for loop, and I hope all these things were clear to you, and I hope you are going to utilize your time properly and you will learn these things efficiently. Thank you. Namaskar.